How I failed during 3 years, but was
You about to give up on trading if you can't figure out this fair value gap thing? So was I. I remember taking what seemed like perfect trades at the correct time of day and somehow choosing the wrong fair value gap. I remember wanting to punch a hole through my screen. Angry! Not literally. But I remember the intense frustration of just feeling like trading wasn't meant for me.
4 years of trading, how I failed during 3 years, but was profitable for the last year.
That no matter what fair value gap I chose, the trade was gonna run my stop. I'm here telling you that because I know that's probably you right now. If you keep taking these trades that are wrong and constantly defeating yourself in your own mind, then you are likely to give up on trading. Especially if you haven't had any real taste of success yet. Then you will end up still working your 9 to 5 until you're 67. But I know that's not you though, because you're still here listening for the Holy Grail. And that's a good thing, because that means you still have hope. But that also means that you know success is just outside of your reach.
That's so sad. Listen up, ass face.
It means that the pain you've endured wouldn't be in vain after all, and you can rub it in everyone else's face that told you to give it up. If this is you, then follow along. This is personally where I had to force myself to only stick within these rules and guidelines that I'm giving you here for free.
It's free, bitches! It's free! It's free!
The most success I've seen throughout my whole learning curve was when I figured this out. It was explained by Michael, but cut up into bits and pieces like a puzzle that I would have to put back together.
Where price is going to go to, okay? And it's not necessarily the
There was
bias.
one thing that I wish someone would have told me, it would have been this. I still think I would have been spinning my wheels in the mud if I didn't find this enlightenment on these little fair value gaps. And by the way, this is nothing new, and it's something that can be found 100 times on YouTube. This is just the absolute way that I wish someone else would have explained it to me. First, let's break down what causes fair value gaps to get filled. The first thing you need to understand is liquidity, where it is, and more importantly to this video, where it's not. The whole logic behind placing an order in the market inside of a fair value gap is the chance that the market might come back to that area before continuing. You don't want to just place random orders at every fair value gap you see. Take notice of where the fair value gap is. Is it at equilibrium of a range? Is it inside of a price leg? Is it inside an OTE? Is it beneath a breaker? Was it just created under or above equal highs or lows? If so, then you'd be smart not to place an order in a fair value gap beneath equal highs. Understand that a fair value gap is only a tool. The tool can't be used all the time. When you're screwing in drywall, you don't want to use a hammer. This doesn't mean that the hammer doesn't work. It means that the operator is using the wrong tool at the wrong time. So when is the right time to use your fair value gap for entry? The best time to use a fair value gap is after liquidity has been purged and price is likely to reverse to some magnitude. To use the fair value gap as an entry anywhere else, in my opinion, is going to be your biggest struggle. So what do I mean by anywhere else? I mean using it during the expansion leg, using any random fair value gap on any random given time frame that looks good enough to make you push the button.
Shit. Come on, man. Well, fuck, it's got some support right here, so, maybe I'll hang on.
The hardest thing to know is when price is turning and whether it's retracing to continue through or reversing to take out the opposite end of liquidity, leaving you likely to be fighting the current. The most important thing is to be making sure that you're always operating within the highest probabilities. Any other time is gambling with unfavorable odds. So how do you use the fair value gap in the highest probability conditions? Write this down. You must wait for a purge of liquidity, period. A run on equal highs or lows and a quick jerking motion back into the range, usually leaving a fair value gap, is your fair value gap. Maybe you'll notice this is similar to Michael's 2022 model. Let me give you a layout for finding these setups. 1. Find equal highs or lows. 2. Wait for price to approach near them. Be on watch for the purge of liquidity. 3. Once the purge happens, wait for the price to go back below those equal highs. 4. Displacement after returning back below the highs. This should create your fair value gap. In the fair value gap is your entry. Be mindful of your stop size. And 5, remember, all you need is 10 handles. Once you do this every week and duplicate this process over many weeks and slowly up your leverage, congratulations. Now you no longer need to clock into that shithole, and it really can be that easy. The more interaction I get, this means the more content that I would like to make. If you have any more questions for me or feel like I could have done something better, just let me know. I respect all the feedback and I'm open to your questions and criticisms.